Runners over 50 must stop doing this. And I think this is the secret to run for a very long time. Like forever, maybe. The first thing I would do is stop running every day. I learned my lesson. I ran 90 days in a row 2 years ago, and it came with so many benefits, and I really enjoyed it. And guys, it was amazing for my mental health. However, there are other ways that you can get the kind of like the running high without running every single day. And you know, cross training is a good thing because it allows you to give your body the rest and recovery it needs, because if you're running every day, you're not getting that, and you run the risk of getting injured. Like really, it's really high. And I was really redlining it for a while. So don't do what I do. I'm just using this as my experience and things that I've learned. Rest and recovery is probably the single-handedly the best thing that you could do for your body if you are running a lot. Just don't run every day. The next on our list is strength training. I don't want you to make the same mistake I've made. Strength training is so important to be able to run longer, okay? And this is no joke. If you want to be able to run a half marathon or a marathon or even an ultra marathon, or if you want to run for like many, many, many more years to come, as we get older, our muscles, if you're not using them and if you're not actively trying to build them up or maintain them, you're gonna lose them. And for me, like I'm losing mine, right? I don't have, like I am losing mine. It's not something I'm proud of, but it's something that I recognize and I have to work at. So what I would suggest if you are an over 50 runner, or even if you're in your 40s, you know, you want to make sure that you're doing the runner's workout, right? You're working on your core, you're working planks, side planks, front planks. I mean, any of these types of things. Maybe even start doing pull-ups. Like I want to start working at getting stronger, but I don't like going to a gym. So I'm going to try to find places where I can actually strength train outside and to be able to, well, I can do push-ups anywhere, right? And I can do planks anywhere. I can do resistance training. That's another good thing to do. Just don't skip out on that kind of stuff. It's super important, and I want you to stay strong and healthy and be able to run for a very long time. This one here is very hard not to do, but I want you to stop comparing yourself to your previous self, okay? You're not 20, you're not 30, you're not 40, right? If you're in your 50s, you're trying to maintain your mental health. You like to run. Now, if you get stuck in the trap of always going for a run, trying to be better than you were last year, that's an okay thing to do. If you're working at trying to be better than you were 2 years ago, yeah, that's probably still a good thing to do. But if you're trying to set PBs that you set when you're in your 20s or even your 30s, look, that ship may have sailed.
Another hill coming up just before 10 kilometers. These guys are doing really good on their time. Like I said, this is the harder part of the race, and they're right in their zone. A lot of hills so far.
I'm not saying that it has, but what I am saying is if you're always comparing yourself to that younger self of yours, look, you've moved on, you've matured, you've become this new version of yourself. Embrace who you are and go out and run and be happy that you're able to run. This is a good thing. There's a lot of runners out there who can't run anymore, and that causes them a lot of mental strife. You as a mature runner have so much to look forward to. Just don't compare yourself to where you were when you were younger. It's not going to help. It's going to set you into a spiral, and sometimes it's hard to kind of come out of that. Sometimes you're like, why am I even bothering doing this? Don't get stuck in that trap. That's what happened to me. I want you to stop eating junk. I want you to stop eating processed food. frankenfood. I want you to reel in your diet. I want you to pay attention to what you're putting in your body and what you are becoming. I want you to set yourself up for success. And by doing so, that will allow you to continue to run longer. It'll allow you to be fitter. It'll allow you to be healthier. So cutting out all of the garbage that we consume, start eating more vegetables, right? Whole foods. If you're a meat eater, okay, eat whatever meat that you want to eat, right? Just don't start going down that road and eating like a lot of Beyond Burgers, like for all the vegans out there and vegetarians. It's fine to have it once in a while, but don't just start consuming a lot of this processed food. If you're eating muffins, right? White bread, right? Maybe ditch that stuff. Maybe go for whole grains, right? Maybe get like a sprouted bread, right? Yes, they cost more money. However, if you're only having like one slice, then that's a good thing. You just want to keep your insulin levels down. As long as you can keep your insulin levels down as much as you can by being plant-based, then that's a good thing, because you don't want to trigger, carbs to go, hey, go into the fat cells, right? We want to be able to use the energy, okay? Again, I'm no doctor, so be kind, right? I'm learning as I go. I'm going to listen to Jason Fung when I'm out for my run today. I can't wait. It's going to be probably a great episode of intermittent fasting, why we gain weight. I'm sure it's going to be a great episode. I just need to get out there and run.
You can't cure the obesity by saying eat fewer calories, because you're not understanding why the body is storing more energy. Weight will be coming down. Yeah, unfortunately, if you think about the way back to 2,000 calories, guess what? You don't gain weight, you don't lose weight. Same as before. Whereas before you go even to 1,800 calories, you lost weight. But the difference was not the calories. It was always 2,000 to 500. The difference was you paid attention to the hormones that you're telling your body. And the insulin is sort of the primary hormone. There's actually a lot more. There's all is a very important hormone. There's other hormones. You mentioned around calories and calories up.
Staying up late is not going to help you improve your running, okay? If you have a proper routine and you're getting 7.5 to 8 hours sleep, maybe even 9, that is fantastic, okay? But if you're burning the candle at both ends, I'm pointing at me because I'm editing these videos, I'm putting them out for you. And when I do that, sometimes I have to look at my sleep patterns. I have to look at my HRV. I have to see where things are at and adapt my running based on those metrics, because I could have had a really stressful day at work, and the next I don't get a good night's sleep, and that causes me to spiral, and I run a risk of getting injured, and I don't want that to happen. And so being able to set yourself a normal routine. I mean, if you can get to bed at like 10 or 11 o'clock, right? And then wake up, 7.5 hours later, that's a good amount. 8 hours, good amount of sleep, right? It may not work for everybody, but I find that works really well for me and allows me to stay strong and allows my body to repair itself during the evening, right? When I get a good night's sleep, I turn off the phone, right? Turn off the screen. If you turn off this thing right here and you turn off your screen on your laptop, on your e-readers, on your TV, all that stuff, if you set the lights really low and then you sit back, maybe have like a little lamp, right? And you're reading a book, you're setting that evening routine, you're telling your body, okay, it's time to start getting ready to go to sleep. Honestly, I get so much more better sleep by doing that than burning the candle at both ends. I want you to stop skipping the warm-up. I've done this so many times where I've gone out the door and I'm like, oh, I got to do a tempo. And then, all of a sudden I'm running fast. The chances of me getting injured really, really rise when that happens. So what I would suggest, and again, this is just me, I go out walk out the door, and then I spend a good 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, just getting my body limbered up. Dynamic stretches, walking, getting my heart rate up, doing a little bit of jogging, right? Just really, really low intensity stuff, just to kind of get me prepared for when I do need to run fast. And again, if you're doing 80-20, great. If you're just doing the Maffetone method, fantastic. You're going slow, right? You're training by heart rate, and that's a good thing. It's a good place to be. And that is what has helped me get to where I am, to be able to run longer, run faster at the same low heart rate, and be able to run these ultra marathon distances, half marathons, even marathons, right? Aerobic based training is extremely helpful. And by making these changes can really, really make a difference in your life if you're in your 50s. And to be quite honest, I think we all should be doing it. If you're in your 40s, even if you're in your 30s, these are good things to be doing to help you stay strong, to be able to run longer, for further and faster, and all that other jazz. Now, I know a lot of you are training using the Maffetone method, and I know I get questions about it still, and I've put a lot of my channel specifically on the Maffetone method. But if you want to kind of get into zone 2 training, this video right here I think should kind of help things out with you if you're training that way. Like I always say, get out and run.
I really wanted to get it right.
And call somebody that you love. I'm sure that they would appreciate it.